There's no vindication for me because for 4 years I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and JayZ are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
I want to start with just the statement from JayZ, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it, it's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
It's the kind of headline.
Sean Diddy Combs, once a towering figure in music and business, now finds himself in a Brooklyn detention center, refusing to eat out of fear of being poisoned. The man who exuded confidence and built a sprawling empire is reportedly gripped by paranoia, convinced that his life is at risk in an environment where he feels vulnerable to manipulation. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors are swirling that his former close ally Sean JayZ Carter might somehow be connected, directly or indirectly, to the turmoil surrounding him. Could it be that one of hip-hop's most legendary friendships has spiraled into a silent conflict? Let's unpack the story.
I'm not surprised with the decision. I'm surprised that Judge Subramanian entertained it. He held a 2-hour hearing, which we were covering live, and he issued a 5-page written order. Most other judges, including the 2 previous judges, to consider this issue, summarily denied the bail motion. I think a lot of it stems from Judge Subramanian being a newer judge. This is a Biden appointee. He has a civil background.
Diddy's current situation at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is anything but easy. Known for its harsh conditions, violent incidents, and questionable safety measures, the facility is infamous for testing even the toughest individuals. For someone accustomed to the luxuries of private jets and sprawling mansions, the transition has been profoundly life-altering. Reports indicate that Diddy has been avoiding the facility's meals, instead surviving on pre-packaged snacks like chips and honey buns from the commissary. Allegedly, he fears that consuming the provided meals could pose a far greater risk than hunger, a slow, calculated demise.
Everyone keeps saying to me, like, how did you keep, why did you keep going? Why were you there? I'm like, it literally is around me. If I don't stay at home, this is the atmosphere I'm in. Like, I have no choice.
According to Larry Levine, a former inmate turned prison consultant, Diddy's concerns aren't entirely unfounded. Speaking on a podcast about Diddy's trial, Levine highlighted the risks a high-profile inmate like him might face in a facility like the NDC. He explained that being in the spotlight creates enemies both inside and outside the prison walls. With the right connections, someone could bribe a guard, compromise his food, and pose a serious threat to his safety. While such situations don't happen overnight, they can become fatal over time. For someone in Diddy's position, facing serious allegations and carrying a history of powerful allies and adversaries, this scenario is disturbingly plausible.
Obviously this civil suit was coming for a while, and there was some talk between Busby and JayZ's lawyers. I think both Busby and JayZ's lawyers are really alphas, so...
Observers have noted Diddy's strikingly changed physical appearance during his court appearances. Once a symbol of vitality and larger-than-life confidence, he now appears visibly thinner and grayer. The stress of incarceration, coupled with reports of his refusal to eat properly, seems to have taken its toll. However, despite rumors about his health, sources close to the music mogul insist he remains mentally sharp, focused, and determined to fight the allegations against him. They describe a man, though visibly affected by his circumstances, still deeply engaged in strategizing his defense and preparing for the challenges ahead. The narrative takes a darker turn, with growing speculation about Diddy's paranoia regarding poisoning, not as a random act of violence or inmate jealousy, but as a potential betrayal from someone he once considered a brother. The name circulating in whispers, JayZ. To grasp why this theory has gained traction, one must examine the broader context of their relationship and the legal storm currently surrounding them both.
If you say the wrong thing or you complain or I don't know, there's an element where you're just, I guess manipulated in a way to make you feel like, oh, you have to please everyone around you. You can't say anything wrong. You don't want to say a bad thing, or when they're constantly asking, would you like to do and you're like, well, I don't do drugs. And they're like, well, why don't you do drugs?
Diddy and JayZ once symbolized the pinnacle of hip-hop camaraderie. They celebrated together, collaborated on tracks, and admired each other's business acumen, embodying a shared journey from humble beginnings to extraordinary success. However, in recent years, their bond has visibly fractured. Now, amid mounting allegations, lawsuits, and intense public scrutiny, it appears that whatever remained of their friendship has entirely unraveled.
I don't know the consequences of what that could have been. So I didn't really talk about it. I should have gone to the police. I should have said something other than to my agent.
Insiders suggest that the rift between Diddy and JayZ may have been simmering long before their current legal battles. For years, whispers of rivalry have circulated, unspoken yet undeniable. Both are titans in their own right, but their paths to success couldn't be more different. Diddy thrives in the spotlight, flaunting his wealth and larger-than-life persona, while JayZ has played the long game, cultivating an image of sophistication and calculated strategy. Their contrasting styles reportedly led to subtle jabs and behind-the-scenes competition, each vying for greater influence and dominance. Out, the stakes are higher than ever. Diddy faces well-documented legal troubles, with allegations ranging from exploitation to organized misconduct. Meanwhile, JayZ has also been named in lawsuits alleging shocking behavior. However, there's a key difference. While Diddy remains detained and vulnerable, JayZ seems intent on distancing himself from the turmoil. Publicly, he has dismissed the allegations as absurd and baseless, but insiders claim he's adopting a far more aggressive stance behind the scenes.
There is so many people involved in this situation that works the machine here, that, you know, Diddy's obviously the head of the whole situation, you know, the king of parties, but there is multiple other people involved that are helping along the situation or, you know, participating in some way.
Rumors are circulating that JayZ views Diddy as a liability, a ticking time bomb whose potential downfall could pull him down as well. Some even speculate that JayZ might be willing to sever ties with Diddy entirely to protect himself. There are theories suggesting that JayZ could be one of the reasons Diddy feels unsafe in prison. While there's no solid evidence to back these claims, in the world of high-profile scandals where power and influence often work behind the scenes, anything is possible.
I agree, and the risk of flight was always going to be a tough argument for the government because obviously Combs voluntarily came to New York. He surrendered his passports through his lawyer. He could have fled after the March raids of his Miami and Los Angeles homes, but he didn't. He has access to 2 private jets. I think it was a tougher argument. I know the government made the argument, but clearly the best argument was the dangerousness and the witness tampering.
Reports suggest that Diddy may be considering deals to protect himself, possibly involving information that could implicate others, including JayZ. If true, this could explain why Diddy feels targeted. Facing charges is one thing, but the potential stigma of being seen as a snitch in the streets and within hip-hop circles is another. Betrayal is considered the ultimate sin. The tension between Diddy and JayZ has intensified, with the courtroom not being the only battleground. Public perception is critical, and both men are keenly aware of this. JayZ has been careful to manage his image, with his legal team emphasizing his innocence and dismissing the lawsuits as attempts for attention and money. Diddy's camp, on the other hand, has remained silent, possibly due to the constraints of his current situation. But this silence only fuels speculation.
Sean had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
On one hand, there's Diddy, once an unstoppable force, now facing the grim realities of incarceration and the looming threat of someone wanting him silenced. On the other, JayZ, a figure seemingly orchestrating his every move, distancing himself from the turmoil while quietly asserting his innocence. At the heart of it all lies a complex web of accusations, lawsuits, and decades of shared history, now transformed into a ticking time bomb.
JayZ got his whipped by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got it. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The fans don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this is more than just a legal battle. It's a fight for survival, reputation, and legacy. With so many motives at play, the truth may be even more shocking than the rumors. Could Diddy's fears of poisoning be a result of paranoia, or is there something more sinister at work? And if JayZ is indeed pulling strings behind the scenes, how far would he go to protect himself? The story of Sean Diddy Combs and Sean JayZ Carter once symbolized the strength of brotherhood in the music industry, a partnership that seemed unshakable until now. What was once a celebrated friendship between two of the most influential figures in hip-hop has crumbled under the weight of accusations, power struggles, and whispers of betrayal. As Diddy sits in his cell at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, refusing meals and growing thinner by the day, the question arises, how did it come to this? To understand the full picture, we must rewind the clock and examine the history of these two titans, friends turned foes, and the events that led them down this chaotic path.
You understand? I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public.
There was a time when Diddy and JayZ epitomized the height of success, not just in music, but in business as well. They weren't just collaborators, they were allies. Diddy's bold, extravagant persona balanced JayZ's calculated business acumen, making them a formidable pair. They shared stages, celebrated each other's achievements, and supported one another's ventures. Their bond went beyond business. It was personal. In interviews, they often spoke of deep mutual respect, with a shared understanding of each other's journeys, from humble beginnings in New York to becoming cultural icons.
And we do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you. It was being reported by TMZ and now Fox News. We are learning that JayZ is accused of a 13-year-old girl. That is new in the Diddy lawsuit.
In the late 1990s and early 2000s, their bond appeared unbreakable. They collaborated on music, attended each other's events, and even supported charitable causes together. A standout moment came in 2005 when they donated $1 million to the American Red Cross following Hurricane Katrina. The donation was more than just money. It symbolized two influential black men joining forces to make an impact. Diddy told reporters, "We're all brothers and sisters, and when one of us is hurting, we all feel it." JayZ echoed his words, stressing the power of unity.
This morning,
together,
rap mogul
they
JayZ
were an
is denying
undeniable
allegations
force.
he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include JayZ. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
Beneath the smiles and handshakes, tension was quietly building. Industry insiders have long speculated that their fallout stemmed from a mix of ego and rivalry. Both men were competing for the same top spot, and while they appeared to support one another, an underlying competition simmered. Diddy was known for his extravagant lifestyle, filled with private jets, lavish parties, and flaunts of wealth, while JayZ embraced a more subtle, calculated image of sophistication. These contrasting approaches to success reportedly sparked tension, with each man convinced his way was the superior one.
In a blistering statement, JayZ accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not?"
As both men expanded their empires, their ventures into fashion, spirits, and television received mixed reactions, while JayZ's moves into tech, sports management, and streaming were widely praised. The media began to favor JayZ, portraying him as the business mogul of the future, while Diddy's reputation remained tied to his larger-than-life persona. This shift in public persona reportedly fueled growing tension between the two. By the mid-2020s, rumors circulated that Diddy had been excluded from major deals involving JayZ's Roc Nation, with sources claiming Diddy felt betrayed, believing JayZ had used their friendship to gain access to opportunities before cutting him out. JayZ, on the other hand, reportedly saw Diddy as a liability, whose unpredictable behavior and controversial past threatened his carefully curated image. As whispers of betrayal grew, their interactions became noticeably colder, though neither publicly acknowledged the feud.
He, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down.
The ongoing fallout between Diddy and JayZ has become impossible to ignore. With lawsuits, accusations, and a media frenzy swirling around Diddy's legal battles, what stands out is JayZ's calculated silence. While Diddy fights for his reputation and freedom, JayZ has been quietly crafting his narrative. His legal team quickly dismissed the allegations against him, calling them baseless, but sources close to the situation suggest that JayZ is deliberately distancing himself from Diddy, even at the cost of throwing his former friend under the bus. One insider described JayZ's approach as cold and strategic, viewing Diddy's downfall as an opportunity to cement his place as the uncontested king of hip-hop. According to sources, JayZ is making sure to sever ties with anyone linked to Diddy, ensuring his own reputation remains unscathed.
Now, with respect to the evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right? More than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress.
Yes, this event occurred over 24 years ago, but in relation to the allegations, there are a few key points. First, it's claimed that another celebrity was present at the time, alongside others. Second, the victim asserts that she left the scene and was later seen by a gas station attendant who noticed her distress.
Civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, we'll see what happens or if the DA looks and investigates.
The tension between the two men has also affected their families. Beyoncé, JayZ's wife and one of the most influential women globally, has reportedly been advising her husband to steer clear of the drama. Sources say Beyoncé is fiercely protective of her family's brand and unwilling to let Diddy's scandals tarnish their empire. She's made it clear that she won't let anyone jeopardize what they've built, urging Jay to maintain his distance. Meanwhile, Diddy's inner circle has remained notably silent, with many longtime allies seemingly distancing themselves from him in this difficult time.
Lawsuits are like playing poker. Like even when you feign, that you have strength, it could be that you have some weakness in your case. So Busby's never going to say that he doesn't have the evidence. I mean, Busby's always going to say he's got the evidence. He's always going to say, oh, we're going to look at multiple other people, we're going to do all this, because he wants to put that fear into that individual.
One of the most shocking developments is the speculation that JayZ may be working against Diddy. Some believe that JayZ's legal team has been providing information to prosecutors, causing Diddy's legal issues to worsen. While there's no solid proof of this, the timing of certain events has raised suspicion. For instance, shortly after Diddy's arrest, JayZ's team issued statements emphasizing his own innocence and distancing him from the allegations, which seemed like a calculated move to shift the focus and leave Diddy to face the backlash. Diddy, reportedly aware of this, feels betrayed by someone he once considered a brother. Sources claim he's been watching JayZ's actions closely and is deeply upset. Diddy, known for his loyalty, feels abandoned, especially when he needed support the most. As the legal battles unfold, it's unclear whether this marks the end of their friendship or if there's more to come. Their once strong bond has now become a cautionary tale of power and betrayal. Regardless of whether they reconcile or go their separate ways, their story will forever be marked by the events that led to their split.